When I was younger, pet ownership was very different to what it is today, especially with dogs. Dogs were there, they were part of the household. Some of the dogs slept inside. Most of the dogs in those days slept outside. They were outside dogs. But over the years, it has evolved, and pet ownership, and particularly ownership of dogs, has changed tremendously. They have become part of the family. Many people call them their children, their fur babies. But they are now very much part of the family. They sleep inside. But with the change of the years, the change of how we live means that we have smaller gardens, smaller houses, high-density living, and now more people are starting to walk their dogs, either in the neighborhood or more than that, going to a park and walking around the park. I used to walk in a park. I loved it. I went there regularly, every single day. Took my dogs down, met my friends. We all walked together. The dogs were together. It was a wonderful time. But over the years, it got worse and worse. And the reason why I don't walk in a park today is because of other people and their unruly, out-of-control dogs. I cannot go to a park and walk around with my dogs under control. And I'm not saying they're healing or being there. They're enjoying themselves. But if I call them, they come. Now, my dogs also don't like a dog in their face. They've had too many incidents of it. So when a dog is racing up towards us, and I say to the owner, call your dog back, get it under control, and the owner shouts, it's friendly, it's fine. And I say, I don't want it up here. Oh, well, I can't call it back. And then chaos ensues because my dog says, "Nyah, leave me alone." And guess whose dog is in trouble? So I don't walk in a park. But let's go back to you've decided to take your dog to a park. There are two things that I think are extremely important before you decide to take your dog to a park. Number one, does your dog really want to go to the park and enjoys going to the park? If it enjoys going to the park, brilliant. But I go to many houses, many people who say to me, I want to make my dog social. So I say, tell me more. Oh, well, it doesn't like going to the park. It puts on brakes when I try to put on its harness. It won't get in the car. It gets to the park. It won't get out. Or it gets to the park and races up and it is aggressive towards other dogs. That dog is not enjoying going to the park. And that owner should not be putting that dog under that stress. If a dog doesn't like going to the park, do not take it. Find something else for it to do. Play games in the garden, whatever you want to do. But if it is stressed out by going to the park, you do not take that dog to the park. And if you have other dogs that like to go to the park and this dog doesn't, leave it at home. Take the other dogs that like to go. Do not do that to the dog. Push the one into it because the other one likes going and maybe the owner likes to go. Don't do that. And then I get people saying, oh, well, I can't leave one at home. Oh, yes, you can. That one that gets left behind might be really happy not to go. And then you're not punishing the dog that likes to go by not going altogether. So you get a happy balance. And yes, it will work out. The dog that's left at home will be happy. The dog that goes to the park will be happy. So please ensure that your dog is happy to go to the park. And many times people who have rescued a dog or rehomed a dog, those dogs are not used to being in a park situation, not happy being there. And you suddenly take them, you've just got the dog and boom, you're into the park and the dog's got to cope. If you want to start taking a dog to the park who is not really that happy or not used to it, you do it slowly. Go to quieter places, quieter area. Don't let dogs run up to your dog. Keep it calm so that your dog can see other dogs at a distance and not be upset about it. You praise the dog for seeing the dog in the distance. Good dog, you're managing fine. But you don't just arrive, boom, put the dog down amongst all the other dogs. Not fair on the dog and not fair on the other dogs, because something could occur. So that's the first thing. Check out that your dog really wants to go to the park. The second most important thing is you need to have your dogs under control or be able to control them in the park. This thing about please call your dog and the person says, oh, the dog doesn't listen to me. Oh, the dog won't come to me. That's not fair. You need to know that your dog is going to listen to you when you need it. A nice, upbeat, come boy, come girl, that's a good dog, here's a treat. You need to be able to get your dogs. And I like some form of obedience. Doesn't matter whether you do it on your own at home or in a group, in a training session. You need to know that your dog will listen to you. And sadly, you go to these parks, there are out of control dogs because the owners have no control over them. And the normal phrase that we always hear is, oh, my dog is friendly. That doesn't wash with me, because those friendly dogs leap onto other dogs. The dog underneath goes, "Nya, get off me, we have a fight." And it is always the friendly dogs that cause the problems. You need to get the friendly dogs under control. But that is another video. All I'm saying is, if you want to go to a park, make sure that your dog is happy going to the park and wants to go. If not, leave it at home or take time to build it up to going to a park. And the second important thing is, make sure that you have control over your dog. It is not fair to go to a park when you know you have no control over your dog, because unfortunately the other dogs could do something to your dog and then you're left with a dog that has been in a fight or something, or you're going to get in trouble because you have no control over your dog. And that is not fair to go walking in a park like that. Be responsible as an owner.